Hey, welcome back to the Big Rant Show. Thank you for joining me. I got a few things to talk about today, but first off, we're going to start with Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi. Of course, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House. I have a lot of issues with her, in a political sense. But what happened this morning while she was gone and her husband was home alone is absolutely appalling. This is where we are after years of lies about the 2020 election, years of lies about Nancy Pelosi, years of lies over what the Democratic Party stands for, what we want for this country. Last night, around 2:30 in the morning, an intruder broke into the Pelosi home. From the reports I've seen, Mr. Pelosi called 911 immediately and just left the line open. And it gave enough information to let him know something was wrong, but didn't really want the intruder knowing that the police were on the way. According to reports, the man walked through the house hollering, "Nancy, where are you?" Type BS, right? Tells you immediately that it's a political attack. They found out who the man was. I'm not going to give his name here, but apparently his Facebook page is full of conspiracy theories and all sorts of stuff, right? But apparently he used to be just a normal guy, and the last few years has become extremely radicalized by the far right. Now, I don't care what party you support. I would hope you would support the party that I like, that I support. But you know what I would never do? I would never harm somebody for political reasons. I would never hurt somebody or attack someone's family or attack them directly because they have a different political view than I do. The only way that I would become physical with somebody, one, it's kind of pointless, but two, I would only become physical with somebody if me or my family or the people around me were in some kind of danger. So I don't understand these people that seem to be somewhat new to political discourse, all of a sudden thinking that it's okay to be violent just because someone has a different viewpoint than you. To Mr. Pelosi, I hope that you heal up pretty good. I hope you're not, didn't get too hurt. I know reports are saying that you went to the hospital with non-life threatening injuries and that you're doing fine. To the Pelosi family at large, I'm sorry that you're going through this. And I'm just glad that the police were able to arrive and, you know, put an end to the situation before it went too far. This isn't the first time that a liberal politician has been targeted by right wing fascist conspiracy nuts. And it's not going to be the last. My fear is this. My fear is that things like this are going to keep escalating to the point that somebody loses their life over it. And that's going to start a bigger conflict. A conflict that should be able to be solved at the ballot box. But these idiots seem to think that it has to be solved by aggression and violence. There is no reason for violence, especially within politics. This is the United States of America. Start acting like it, people. We're not some third world country with dictators that take over every so often. We're Americans. We solve our problems at the ballot box. If you remember the one time we didn't, hundreds of thousands of Americans died. Keep that in mind if you're out there spewing this let's have a civil war bullshit. In other news, last week there was a shooting at a St. Louis high school. A 15-year-old girl and a 61-year-old woman were shot dead by a man with an AR-15. News came out today that, or not today, but yesterday, that the guy bought his weapon with no background check. Now, he went to a federal arms dealer and he was red flagged for something, and the FBI wouldn't pass the background check for him. So he went on and bought it from an individual. And then he subsequently went off and murdered these people. He had some 600 rounds of ammunition. If police had not been right there, and if these police had not responded in a proper manner, more people would have died. Lots more people. These officers responded the way you should respond. And they got there in a hurry, and they didn't sit outside the school for an hour waiting to find out whether or not this guy needed to be taken down or not. They were called, they showed up, they engaged, they took care of the situation. But this tells you that we need background checks on all gun sales, regardless of if you're buying it from a dealer or if you're buying it from Joe Schmo down the street. Here's what I propose: a system, kind of like your car title. Now, in most of the states I've been in, I'm guessing this is how it works in most states in America where they make you register your car. You have a title for your car, right? And then you have to go to the courthouse or the DMV or whichever place here in Oklahoma. I believe it's a tag agency. I think you have to go to for that. But to transfer the vehicle of the vehicle, you have to go. You have to sign it. They have to sign it. Then it has to go through a process down at the agency, right? Whatever agency in your state takes care of title changes. Well, how about we put titles on guns, right? And the only difference in the process, instead of there being no background check, as there isn't with the car generally, the only thing that checks about for liens and stuff, right? How about with guns, you run a federal background check on every single sale, and you require that. And if you sell your car or your gun without doing that, and it is used in a crime, then you are held criminally liable for that attack. This not only protects the seller, but it can help keep criminals from getting firearms. I'm so tired of this stuff. I'm so tired of hearing about school shootings and mass shootings and stuff like that all the damn time. But I don't see us making any changes on that. I'm just giving you that as a tidbit of what I think we should do and about the situation. But I will say this in closing. The holiday season coming up, I hope people will be kinder. I wish people would just calm down a bit, right? You can have your political views, and that's fine. Have whatever view you want. But when you try to force your views on other people, that's where the problem comes in. When you get so caught up in what you believe that you want to hurt people for it, you've gone too far. But that's really all I have to say about these two situations. I think it's absolutely appalling what happened to Mr. Pelosi. I think it's completely unnecessary and tragic what happened to those two people in the high school. There's no excuse. Now, I hope everybody has a good Halloween, whether you're doing trunk or treat or trick or treat, however you do it nowadays. I know when I grew up, Halloween was all about trick or treating, going door to door, getting candy. Some kids went to church, which I thought was kind of odd, but it's what people do. Everybody does what they do, right? Now, it seems people don't do much trick or treating anymore. It doesn't seem like it seems like everybody does some kind of indoor event or trunk or treat or something where they don't actually go door to door. And I guess times just change. But the one thing I will not understand is I keep seeing posts on Facebook about how people need to stop giving out candy, period, um, to trick or treaters. That you should just hand out health food. Now, maybe I'm maybe I'm just old. Okay, I'm 43, so maybe I'm just over the hill. But the whole point in Halloween to me was going trick or treating and getting candy. Right? Whenever somebody would throw something in like a bag of something that was supposed to be healthy, that would get tossed away right away as soon as you got home. Like the whole point of Halloween for most kids is to get candy. For some kids, it's the only time of year they get to have candy. Because I know parents nowadays are a lot more concerned about extra sugars and things like that going into their child's bodies, as they should be. But some of these parents, they let their kids have a little bit of, joy with candy around the holidays. And sometimes Halloween is the only holiday where they're going to get a chance. Now, if you want to be conscious about health stuff for people, or you're worried about allergies or whatever, don't get things with peanuts. Don't give away things with peanuts. But mostly, if you want there to be an alternative option, then have one. Like if somebody comes up and goes trick or treat, and their parent says, "Hey, my kid for whatever reason can't have candy," having another option is kind of cool, right? Whatever a sugar-free option could be for some kids, because there's some kids that are have type 1 diabetes and such. So I understand these things, and so I understand having an alternative. But getting rid of candy entirely for Halloween? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. I think it's kind of crazy, but hey, let me know your opinion. Anyways, I kind of wanted to close this on a lighthearted subject like Halloween and the holidays. Um, I have noticed, and I'll put a video out probably the first week of November discussing how the holidays may be a little more expensive for us. Um, but that said, enjoy your Halloween if you celebrate Halloween and whatever holiday you celebrate around it. I know different cultures do different things sometimes, and um, I want to be sensitive to everyone's culture because I think everybody's culture is unique, and I think it's important, to recognize different cultures. But anyways, y'all have a great day. I'll see you down the road. Like I said, first week of November sometime, I have a video talking about the holidays. I'll probably do another at the end of November. I'll probably do another video like I've been doing the last few years over um, last minute cheap gift ideas if I can find some articles on that, on where to go and what to get. Um, we'll see how it all works. I'm having some issues with computing or computers and stuff as of late because, like I said, my computer that I usually use that I thought would be up and running is still having very slow issues, like where I try to record a video on the program I have on that computer that I don't have the key code to download here on this computer. Doesn't seem to want to work because the computer's gotten so sluggish. And so, even with the better camera on that computer, um, that computer just can't do it as well as it used to. Therefore, I have this terrible background that you're looking at here. And sometime after the first year, maybe we can change that. Maybe we can figure out a way to fix that. I don't know. I really wish I just had an extra room that could just be an office that I could easily get into, but I don't have that option. Anyways, y'all have a great day. See you down the road.